Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. My name is Tyler. Welcome to episode 9 of Modern Day Mentor. It's great to have you guys. I can't believe we're on week 9 already. And today I'm super excited to talk to you about a topic. We're going to dive into the question of the day, which is, what is your story and why? So first of all, apologize. You can probably hear I got a little scratchy voice. I'm getting over a period of time where I actually lost my voice completely. So it is coming back. It actually sounds better, believe it or not, than it did a couple days ago. But we're going to get through. It may get more scratchy. I get super excited as I talk, but hopefully it's gonna stick with me. I haven't talked this long for a long time, so hopefully it stays with me, and we'll go from there. But my name is Tyler. If I haven't met you, I'm a mentor at More Success and Significance. We're passionate about helping people. We mentor them in life to create cash flowing assets so that they can have more significant choices in their life. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I think will really help assist you all in your endeavors and provide a fuel and a passion that will almost be never ending. I'm a true believer. If you get this dialed in, it could be a never ending fuel for you in your endeavors. And that is, what's your story and why? And as I was thinking about how we could potentially do this, I actually get asked a lot, hey Tyler, what's the story of More Success and Significance? What's the background? Why do you do what you do? And so I thought maybe to help encapsulate this topic, I would actually just share a little bit of that with you. Because as I was looking back across our podcasts, lives, and the content that we have out there on our page, I realized that it isn't out there. It isn't out there for people to see and ingest and understand, okay, how did we get to where we are? Why do we do what we do? What's our story? And so I thought it'd be good just to share, give you guys an example of myself doing that, going through that activity or that work to get a story. And it's my story, and it's what fuels me today. It's what's gotten us to this point. I'm very passionate about it. And so I'm excited to share that with you. And full admittedly, I didn't prepare a lot for this because I wanted it to be real and authentic for you. I don't think your story necessarily has to be this grandiose, super polished, maybe like marketing material. That's not really what I'm talking about. This is for you. This is for you to hold on to be raw, to be real, and say, this is why I do what I do. Here is my story about how we got to where we are today. So hopefully, I think this is going to be really helpful. And then for you to kind of put together and then use it as fuel for your endeavor. So let's dive right in. So I think where to start for me is, if we go back, my story is, if I would kind of explain it to somebody, is it came out of a feeling of, I did everything right. I was doing everything right. And I was still super frustrated. I was still in a place where I didn't like where I was at. And what do I mean by that? So I did everything that I was told along the way growing up and that I needed to do to be successful, to achieve at a very high level. So that's the first thing. I was a high achiever. I was a hard charger. I was super competitive. If you've met me in my younger years, maybe almost to a detriment. But I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do. So, get a good education. I graduated as the valedictorian in my high school. I went to a small private college and studied mathematics and computer science, really hot topic items. Get a good job. I worked at a place where I was the fastest and youngest person to the assistant director level. Went into a tech company here in Omaha where I rose through the ranks, made 6 figures, was climbing through the ranks, and that was doing really well. One second, I'm going to grab a glass of water. Voice is already not cooperating. All right, I'm back. I told you this was unscripted. So as I was doing that, I was doing whatever it took. I was flying across the country. I literally left my pregnant wife for 3 months while we started our European offices. I was going through and doing everything that I possibly could to have a life that I wanted. And so, but I was being super frustrated, and finally got to a point where I started to realize that I had big dreams. Like, I wanted it all. And I became, it took me a long time to realize that I was unapologetic about that. I came to realize that there were four different types of wealth. There's money and materials, there's status, there's time, and there's health. And I wanted all of those things. Not only did I want all of those things for me, I wanted all of those things for people around me. I wanted those things for my wife, for my kids, for my grandkids, for my parents. I wanted all of those things, and I felt like I could actually accomplish those things. My belief in those things is that I could help create those types of things around us. And what I began to realize, though, is that the traditional wealth creation, the typical asset creation that I was being taught, things that you should have that will create wealth in your life, a good life, the education, a job, a 401k, those things for me and that level weren't going to cut it. They actually weren't going to work for me. And even if they were able to create a life, it was really only going to be for me. It really couldn't impact the people around me. And I would have to wait 30 or 40 years to accumulate that type of assets to help with that type of wealth, that type of value in my life. And so I was actually talking with a person about this in my life, and they said the only way to accomplish what you want to do, in their humble opinion, is to create a business of your own, is to go into business. Because if you he kind of told me that if you look at the type of wealth that is generated, that you're talking about, that has multi-generational impact, that has legacy level impact, those individuals are business owners, are potentially entrepreneurs. They're typically not people who are working in a job, even regardless of their education level. And so that was a challenge for me, but I was a hard charger, and I said, I'm going to go do that. And so what I did is I started my own business. And I would love to tell you things were daisies and roses, but actually what I want to tell you is I struggled. I struggled massively. I invested over the course of a few years well over $100,000 in various businesses. And it was hard. The struggle was definitely real. And when I would talk to my friends and my family about this, they say, hey, Tyler, how the business is going? And you know what I told them? It was going great. Things were growing. Things were being well. But on the inside and behind the scenes, things were a massive struggle. I was learning so many lessons on a good side, but they were painful on the other side. And so, but I think the benefit out of that is I definitely learned along the way that there are things that I would have done very differently. There are things that I would have steered away from, and there are things that I would have definitely leaned into. I learned that some of the things that I was doing were my fault. Some of the things that I was doing was because of the business style, the niche that I was in. And so I started to get more education, more learning around the types of business and systems that are out there that can potentially have maybe some lower stress levels. They can be more effective. They can be more efficient. And I started to refine that, optimize that over time. And now today, I am glad to say that it's because of those businesses, because of those enterprises that provide me the income, the status, the time to do what I want, right? Total control of those things. But it took a long time, and I took a lot of lumps along the way. And so how is that? That's my story, and what's my why today is because I know, and I believe, and I know that there are more people out there like me who believe that they have done everything that they are supposed to do, but they're still in a rut. They still feel trapped. They still feel frustrated because they're not, those things that they're doing, those vehicles that they're in, whether it's the education they have, maybe it's the profession they have, maybe the job they have, the investments that they're making, aren't actually getting them to where they want to go. They aren't actually providing for the large dreams and the aspirations that they have. And for a long time, I didn't want to talk about those things because maybe many people don't quite have those high dreams and aspirations, but I know that there are people out there that do. And what I've found is the typical traditional wealth building, asset building strategies just don't work for people like us. And I guess the good thing that I want to share with you is they weren't really supposed to. But there are vehicles and asset and wealth building strategies that do work for those type of high level aspirations. And what I found is most people don't know about them. Most people think they're confusing. And most people feel overwhelmed when they try to go and approach or go down those avenues. And there is my why. I've been down those avenues. I've been down those roads. And if there are people out there who are also identifying with people like me who have those high levels of achievement, aspiration, large dreams, then my why is I would love nothing more than to help those people, people that I see through my own lens 5 and 6 years ago with the same struggles that I was going through, come alongside them and say, I think I can help you. I can offer some advice. I can offer some expertise in these areas. And we can potentially move through those fields of landmines that I stepped in and they hurt and they were painful, but I can help you avoid them. I can help you be more effective than I was in my journey through those learning lessons. So that's my story and that's my why. And there we came to a place of, well, that is more success and significance. That is our purpose. Our purpose is to partner with people who are in those places in their life and to help them navigate to players to be more effective than I was and help them achieve their goals and aspirations, which admittedly are very lofty and are probably feeling like the traditional advice is not working for them. And the reason I know that is because that was me. And so as you can tell, that's something that fires me up. That's my story. Those are my frustrations. Those are emotional times for me. And those things I think then really help me drive and fuel my fire for desire and my mission to help other people do the same thing. So if you haven't, I would suggest that you take some time and reflect about what's your story. Where are you? Like I talked about, what are your goals and aspirations? What's brought you to this point in your life? And why do you think that is? And if you haven't done that, then I think you may find yourself kind of floating and going from one thing to the next, not really feeling like you're getting anywhere. But if you can start to harness, right, what is your story? Why are you here? Where do you want to be? Then I think what you'll find is that not only will be a clarifying process for you, but it will also be something that you can use as fuel and fire. And then finally, like I said, if you find yourself resonating with some of these things, and I know it won't resonate with everybody, but if you find yourself resonating and you are frustrated and you feel like you've went down all the avenues that you can that you don't know about and you're just feeling stuck, then I'd encourage you to go up top to our Facebook page, click on our profile pic. You're going to see some links in there. There's going to be resources there to help you. I would highly suggest that you take a look at those. And if we can be any help at all, feel free to message us below, comment below, and we'll reach back out to you and get in contact and do the very best we can to help you along your journey. All right, guys, I hope this was super helpful for all of you. I really enjoy it. It's something I was passionate about. I'm glad my voice held up for the most part, except for needing that glass of water. But I really appreciate your time and your attention. Until next week, wishing you all nothing but more success and significance in your life. Cheers.